Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family and Harry and Meghan, and today I'm looking into a significant decision made by Prince William and Catherine regarding their family's next home. The couple has now chosen to relocate from Adelaide Cottage to Forest Lodge, a residence situated on the historic Windsor estate. This choice, however, wasn't made lightly. It reflects their values, priorities, and vision for their family's future, while also drawing a sharp contrast with other royals' preferences. So let's explore why they made this move, how it compares to their initial consideration of Fort Belvedere, and what it says about their approach to life as future monarchs. So first, let's look into Fort Belvedere. I did a video on it recently, the property that initially caught their attention. Fort Belvedere is a stunning Gothic revival residence, steeped in royal history. It was once home to King Edward VIII, who famously abdicated the throne in 1936. Its appeal is undeniable, a picturesque location on the Windsor estate, complete with a tennis court and a swimming pool. The idea of a home with such recreational facilities likely held great allure for William and Catherine, who are known for their active lifestyles and commitment to providing their children with a balanced upbringing. However, Fort Belvedere came with a significant drawback: the cost of updating it. The property, while charming and historic, requires substantial renovations to meet modern standards for a young family. We're talking about upgrades to plumbing, electrical systems, insulation, and potentially even structural repairs, given its age. These renovations could easily run into millions of pounds, a figure that, even for royals, demands careful consideration. William and Catherine, mindful of public perception and their own financial responsibility, took a step back to weigh their options. They didn't want a project that would drain resources or invite scrutiny over lavish spending, especially in an era where the monarchy is under increasing pressure to demonstrate fiscal restraint. This is where Forest Lodge comes in. Forest Lodge, also located on the Windsor estate, offered a compelling alternative. Unlike Fort Belvedere, Forest Lodge does not require the same level of extensive renovations. It's a more modern, manageable property with 8 bedrooms. The size strikes a perfect balance. It's spacious enough to accommodate their needs, but not so grand that it feels like a sprawling palace. This choice reflects their desire for a cosy, homely environment where their children can grow up with a sense of normalcy, despite their extraordinary circumstances. And now let's talk about location. Forest Lodge is conveniently situated close to Adelaide Cottage, where the family has been living since 2022. This proximity ensures a smooth transition, allowing the children to remain in familiar surroundings close to their school and friends. More intriguingly, Forest Lodge is just a stone's throw from Royal Lodge, the residence of Prince Andrew, Duke of York. Royal Lodge is a mansion of considerable grandeur, boasting 39 bedrooms and an opulent design that speaks to a different era of royal life. The contrast between these two homes, Forest Lodge and Royal Lodge, could not be more striking. And it tells us a great deal about the differing priorities within the royal family. Prince Andrew's choice of Royal Lodge reflects a desire for prestige and status. Despite his fall from grace, having stepped back from public duties in 2019 due to his association with Jeffrey Epstein, Andrew has clung to the grandeur of Royal Lodge. The sprawling estate, with its vast number of rooms, meticulously maintained gardens, and historical significance, projects an image of importance. It's a residence that screams royalty in the traditional sense, designed to impress and assert one's place in the hierarchy. However, maintaining such a property comes at a significant cost, both financially and in terms of public perception. Reports suggest that Andrew has faced challenges funding the upkeep of Royal Lodge, with its annual maintenance costs reportedly in the hundreds of thousands of pounds. In stark contrast, Prince William and Catherine's decision to choose Forest Lodge over Fort Belvedere, or a similarly grand residence, speaks volumes about their humility and pragmatism. William as the future king and Catherine as the future queen consort could easily justify a more lavish home. After all, they already have access to residences like Apartment 1A at Kensington Palace, Anmer Hall in Norfolk, and in the future Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle for official duties. Yet they've opted for a home that prioritises family life over ostentation. Forest Lodge is large enough to be comfortable, but not so large that it feels like a museum. A practical choice for a couple who values privacy and a grounded upbringing for their children. And what is particularly noteworthy is that William and Catherine are reportedly funding the renovations for Forest Lodge themselves. This is a significant point. As the heir to the throne, William could rely on public or royal funds for such expenses, but choosing to pay personally underscores their commitment to financial responsibility. It's a move that resonates with the public, especially at a time when the cost of living is a concern for many. The decision also stands in contrast to Prince Andrew, whose insistence on maintaining Royal Lodge has drawn criticism for its perceived extravagance, particularly given his diminished role in the royal family. The irony here is palpable. Prince Andrew, a shamed lesser royal, clings to a 39-bedroom mansion that symbolises grandeur and excess, while Prince William, the future king, chooses a modest, family-orientated home that reflects humility and restraint. This contrast highlights a generational shift within the monarchy. William and Catherine are modernising the institution, focusing on relatability and responsibility rather than the traditional trappings of royalty. Their choice of Forest Lodge sends a clear message. Leadership does not require lavish displays of wealth or power. So let's look into why Forest Lodge was the wiser choice over Fort Belvedere. Firstly, there's the financial aspect. Renovating Fort Belvedere would have been a costly endeavour, potentially involving years of construction and millions of pounds. Forest Lodge, while still requiring some updates, is in better condition, making it a more cost-effective option. This allows William and Catherine to allocate their resources wisely, perhaps towards their charitable initiatives or other family priorities. Secondly, Forest Lodge offers a more intimate setting. With 8 bedrooms, it's spacious enough for the family, their staff and guests, but it doesn't overwhelm with unnecessary space. They don't tend to have staff staying with them anyway, so my guess is it would be for family. Fort Belvedere, with its larger footprint and historical grandeur, might have felt more like a public venue than a private home. Thirdly, Forest Lodge aligns with the couple's long-term vision. They've described it as a potential forever home, a place where they can settle for years to come. Fort Belvedere, while appealing, might have been seen as a temporary or statement-making choice due to its historical significance and high-profile past residence. It was also very much a statement of them needing security. Forest Lodge, by contrast, is a blank canvas, ready to be shaped into a family home that reflects their personal styles and values. Another benefit is the location within the Windsor estate. Being close to Adelaide Cottage means minimal disruption for the children's routines, including their education at Lambrook School, which is nearby. The proximity to Royal Lodge, while perhaps awkward given the family dynamics, also places William and Catherine within the heart of the royal community, maintaining their connection to the Windsor estate's traditions and responsibilities. As king, William will have access to grand venues like Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle for entertaining dignitaries and hosting state events. These official residences are designed for such purposes, with ballrooms, banquet halls, and diplomatic facilities. Forest Lodge, therefore, doesn't need to serve as a showcase for royal prestige. Instead, it can remain a private sanctuary, a place where the family can retreat from the public eye and focus on their personal lives. This separation of private and public spaces is a strategic move, allowing William to balance his future role as king with his role as a husband and father. By opting for Forest Lodge and funding its renovations themselves, William and Catherine are making a statement about accountability. They're acknowledging the public's expectations for transparency and restraint, setting an example for other royals to follow. In contrast, Prince Andrew's attachment to Royal Lodge has fueled negative headlines, with reports of his struggles to maintain the property, painting a picture of entitlement. It's worth noting that Forest Lodge isn't just a practical choice, it's a reflection of William and Catherine's values. They're prioritising their family's well-being, financial responsibility and a modern approach to royalty. Forest Lodge may not have the glamour of Fort Belvedere, nor the grandeur of Royal Lodge, but it has something much more important, the potential to be a true home. For a couple destined to lead the monarchy into a new era, that's a powerful statement. Their decision to choose Forest Lodge over Fort Belvedere is not just wise, it's a glimpse into the future of a much more grounded and relatable royal family. So, let me have your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell for alerts for more videos like these. Like if you liked it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.